Welcome to your Stitch Pilates mat class. We're starting with a pair of ankle weights. You will also need a medicine ball or Pilates ball, as well as a light set of weights, 2 to 5 pound weights, depending on your strength and mobility. We will start standing. We start by taking a deep breath in, reaching the arms up nice and tall, taking a deep breath out as you nod the chin to chest and peel forward. Bending the knees for 3, for 2, warming up, putting weight into the backs of the legs, feeling the stretch in the heels and the calves and the hamstrings. Reaching the arms back up nice and tall. Breathing in and breathing out as you nod the chin to chest. The hands come down to the mat. We walk ourselves out into a plank position. You slowly start to roll back into the hips, rolling into the heels, taking a downward dog. Rolling forward back into your plank. We're here for 2. 1 more, really rolling back into the hips. You roll back forward into your plank, your left leg comes forward. Reach the left arm up, twist the spine. We circle here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Reaching the arm up really tall, finding that rotation, bringing the left hand back to the mat. The left leg comes back, we find our downward dog. The right leg comes forward, we rotate, reaching the right arm up tall to the sky, finding a twist. We spin the arm for 3, we circle the arm for 2, and we circle for 1, really reaching and rotating, finding that stretch, bringing the right palm back to the mat, bringing the right leg back to the left, coming back into your downward dog. Really sinking into the stretch, we start to bend the knees, almost as if we're going to tap the knees on the mat. We come back into our downward dog. We're here for 3, starting to warm up the core. Finding that connection to the core, starting to corset the core together, squeeze the core together. The weights in the heels, last one, we come into the plank. You take a deep stretch, opening up, extending through the back, reaching back into a child's pose, and starting to take a stretch in your child's pose. Reaching over to the right corner, finding a stretch through the left side of the body, taking a deep breath, coming over to the left corner, reaching through the right side of the body, taking your final stretch in your child's pose. We then come up into a tabletop position, starting to find a cat-cow. Starting by extending through the back, arching and opening up through the chest, then rounding through the spine, looking down at the belly. Opening up through the chest, extending through the back, finding that cat-cow, really arching and opening up, rounding and curving through the spine. Take one last curve of the spine, really looking down into the belly. We'll then come back to a neutral spine. We start to circle the head. You peel the head down, circling around, taking a stretch on the neck. Feeling this final part of the stretch as we warm up through the body so we can really move with intention today on the mat. We reverse our circles. You're here just for 3. You're here for 2. And taking that last circle. Come down into your final child's pose, really sinking down into the hips, sinking the hips down into the heels. Coming out of child's pose, we come back into our tabletop. Sit the hips back into the heels, really coming back into that downward dog position. This time we're tapping the knees all the way down. We come back into the downward dog, tap the knees down for 3. Good. Feeling that difference of fully bringing the knees down to the mat for 2. Keeping that weight in the hips and heels when we press back, all the way extending. This time we start to add the arms. The left arm pulls to the right ankle, finding a rotation of the spine. Right hand pulls to the left ankle. We're here for 6. Reaching really, really long, finding that rotation. When we tap the knees down, we connect to the core. When we twist, we connect to the obliques, really feeling the wrist wrap around the opposite ankle. Tapping the knees down, squeezing the core together for 2. We take this one last rotation, then we bring the knees down to hover. We start to pulse the knees for 8, for 7. Here's 6. Squeeze the core for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1, pressing back into the downward dog. Slowly starting to walk the feet all the way up to the hands, taking a nice stretch in the backs of the legs, really sinking into the final part of the stretch. Bending the knees and coming up. We'll bend the knees here for 2, and for 1. Come down all the way to the glutes and we'll start to work on the core. Let's begin. We start by connecting to the core, bringing the hands behind the head. The feet are flat on the mat, the knees are bent. We start to tuck the tailbone under, really connecting to the mat. We then start to arch, feeling the belly button pull up to the ceiling. We do this for 3, just starting to really connect to the core, connecting to the body here, feeling the difference. Once we finish this last one here, we reach the arms up tall. We start to reach forward, reaching the pinkies to the mat. We start to crunch. You're here for 10. You're here for 9. If this is too difficult with the arms peeling down in front of you, start to bring the hands behind the head. You're here for 6. We're here for 5. For 4. You have 3. Only 2 more. Last one is here. We slowly start to bring the knees in, adding the component of the low body. The toes tap down on the mat, the knees pull into the chest. We're pulling the body away from the midline. We're pulling the body together. You're here for 6. We're here for 5. Opening up through the chest, feeling that space of the mat, then coming together, pressing the belly button down towards the mat. Last one here. We come together. Everything is grounded and planted on that mat. You start to just isolate the legs. Pull the knees in. Tap the toes down. Pull the knees in. Tap the toes down. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. On this last one, we come down. We then start to lengthen out through the legs as the pinkies and the palms press down to the mat, nodding the chin to chest, continuing this ab circuit here, lengthening out, squeezing the inner thighs, pressing the palms down, curling up, nodding the chin to chest, feeling the low back press down into that mat. You're here for 4. We're here for 3. Just 2 more here. On this last one, we reach the arms up, we stay curled, we start to just lower lift those legs, keeping everything nice and straight. The arms, the legs are straight and strong, pressing down towards the ground, pulling up to the sky. Last one here, reaching the arms up, the legs up. We start to take a stretch. The right knee comes into the chest, the left leg is up nice and tall. Nod the chin to chest, the left leg starts to pull down to the mat. We start to switch and switch, pulling one knee into the chest, holding on to that half. You're here for 10 and 10, for 9 and 9. We're here for 8 and 8, really feeling the connection to the core as the knee comes into the chest. When we lengthen out through that opposite leg, the low core is connected. The hips are heavy. The belly button is pressing down into that low back. We're really curling up through the head, neck, and shoulders. You're here for 3, for 3, for 2, and here's 2. Last one on each side. Pull the right knee into the chest. The left leg comes up to the sky. We lower and lift for 5. Lower and lift just the left leg. 3. We lift for 2. We lift. Last one, the left leg comes up. Switch the legs. We're here again for 5 and lower. For 4. When the leg comes down, we pay attention to the low core. The left knee is deep in the chest. We're nodding the chin to chest here, peeling up through the shoulder blades. For 2. And last one, we lower the leg, pull the knee into the chest, slowly start to lower down through the head, neck, and shoulders. Just open up the knees about as wide as the chest here. And then slowly start to plant the feet down, the knees are bent, and we connect to the core. We'll start to connect to the obliques for the next exercise. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders, reaching the arms up an inch above the mat. Reaching the right pinky to the ankle, and then reaching the left pinky to the left ankle. Starting to feel the hinge as we reach from one side to the other side, connecting to the oblique each time. You're finding length reaching through the spine as you reach the pinkies or the thumbs to the ankles here. So we're not feeling a crunch in the spine, we're feeling length, but we're connecting to the obliques. You're here for 3. You're here for 2, and you're here for 1. Slowly come all the way down. We'll start to begin a roll up, reaching the arms back behind you, keeping the arms with you as you nod the chin to chest, curling up all the way to the hips if you can, slowly peeling down with that control. You're here for 5. Come up however high you can. It does not matter whether you're coming all the way up to the hip bones or whether you're just curling up through that upper core, reaching those shoulder blades up and nodding the chin to the chest. Do what you can do. You're here for 2. And you're here for 1. Slowly peeling back down on the mat. You'll lengthen out through the legs, reach the arms back behind you. Find a really nice stretch here, opening up. Bring the knees into the chest, give yourself a good hug, start to roll yourself up. Can you take a roll all the way down and all the way up, coming up to seated? We continue to connect to the obliques, reaching the arms up nice and tall, lengthening and stretching through the spine, reaching forward, taking a nice stretch. We feel the forward fold, we feel reaching for the toes, feeling the stretch on the calves, on the hamstrings, feeling the stretch on the low back, connecting the whole body, taking some deep breaths, really trying to deepen the stretch as you breathe out. We then will come up, reaching the arms out wide to a T to continue the oblique connection. You start to rotate the spine, reaching over to the right and coming to center. Reaching over to the left, taking that rotation. You're here for 5. Rotating and reaching. You're here for 4. We're here for 3. Here's 2. Take that last rotation. Beautiful. Come back together. Bring the hands together. Grab your medicine ball, put on your ankle weights, and grab your light weights. We keep the knees bent, feet are flat. You have the ball to your low back, not the tailbone, a few vertebrae higher. The light weights come into your hands. You reach the arms forward, palms facing each other. Start to curl the chin to chest, peeling up, continuing that crunch connection, rolling down onto that mat. You're here for 10. Keep the neck in line with the shoulder blades, with the rest of the spine. So you're not feeling the chin touch the chest. We're staying in line here, but rounding out through the spine. You're here for 3. We're here for 2. On this last one here, we start to curl up and we continue the connection with the arms. The arms come up, the arms peel down. You're up 2 inches, down 2 inches, up 2 inches, down 2 inches. 10 for 9. Here's 8. Good. 7 for 6 and 5 for 4. Here's 3 for 2 and for 1. The arms come together. We pull the arms away from each other, bending a little bit through those elbows. For 8. You're here for 7. We're here for 6. You're here for 5. For 4. You're good for 3. For 2. And last one. We transition to a bicep curl position and we start to come into our bicep curl, lowering the arms and reaching the hands to the chest, lowering the arms, reaching the hands to the chest. You're here for 8. We're here for 7, starting to connect to the biceps, not moving too quickly, too slowly. You can add the component of the leg if you feel ready. We're here for 3, bringing the right knee into the chest. You're here for 2. Last one, pull the knee into the chest. We start to pulse the arms up and up and up for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. We bring the left leg down. Keep going back into those bicep curls again for 5, for 4, for 3, and we add the leg. Keep going here for 4, for 3, you have 2, and last one, keep the left knee in the chest. We pulse the arms up for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, here's 3, here's 2, and here's 1. Good job. Come on up. Put those ball weights down. We're going to bring the ball back onto the low back, maybe just a little bit higher than before, right? Maybe right where that sports bra starts. The hands come behind the head, elbows are out wide. We pull the knees into the chest for the teaser position. We'll start our crunches. Pull the head, neck, and shoulders into the chest. Open up the chest to the sky. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders, curl up. Open the chest to the sky, extend the back. You're here for 6. You always have the option to bring those toes down to the mat if that feels better for you. Find ways to modify so that this workout works for you. You're at home, you have some options to modify here. If we want to extend and make this a little more challenging, you start to reach the arms forward. The left leg extends long. We're here for 5. We're here for 4. You're here for 3. Just 2 more here. Last one. Beautiful. We lower the feet down, take a nice stretch, open up through the chest. We come again, pull the knees into the chest. We curl up, we crunch. This time we extend the arms long. You extend the right leg out. Good. Crunch up, arms come long. The right leg is long. You're here for 5. We're here for 4. You're here for 3. We're here for 2. Good. Last one, extend the leg out. Pull the knee in. Good. Take that nice stretch. Beautiful. Start to sink into the stretch. Start to pull the knees away from each other. Open up through the hip flexors. Enjoy the ball being on the low back. Feel the release of the low back and the hips. Bring the hands together. We start to continue those crunches. Curl up, pressing the palms into each other, reaching in between the knees, keeping that head, neck, and shoulders curled, but not trying to touch the chin to the chest. Starting to pull the left elbow back and reaching into that oblique for 5. For 4. Here's 3. For 2. And last one, switch sides. The right elbow pulls back into the ribs for 5. Focus on the oblique, pull the belly button back to the spine, rotate through that spine, pull the elbow back for 2. And for 1, reach the arms forward, press the palms together. You start to pulse, sweet pulse for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5. You're here for 4, for 3, almost done for 2, and for 1. Pull the knees together, pull the knees into the chest and roll up. Take the ball, bring the ball from the low back in between the knees, and then slowly come back down onto your back, pressing the palms into the mat. We start to pull the knees into the chest, finding a tabletop position. Reach the arms up, palms are facing away from you. Start to reach the palms up, curling the head, neck, and shoulders. We pump the arms, we're here for the 100. Beautiful, feel like you're splashing water. Keep heavy in the hips, pulling the belly button down to the spine. You're squeezing the ball with the inner thighs, feeling that connection. You lengthen the legs up tall to the sky. We continue to pump the arms. Inner thighs are squeezing together. The ankles are right over the hip bones. Let's find that external rotation. Really start to connect the inner thighs to the ball. Can we lower the legs down a few inches? Deepen that connection to the core. Keep pumping with the arms. Beautiful. Start to pull the knees into the chest. The palms come down. Bring the ball from the knees in between the ankles. Reach the legs up tall to the sky. Feel heavy in the hips, pull the belly button to the spine, start to lower the ankles down towards the mat, pull the ankles back over the hips. You're here for 5. Finding that control, you have weight in the ankles, so you need to feel heavy in the spine, right? When I say heavy in the spine, I mean no arch, no separation between the low back and the mat. You want to feel like the hips are pulling to the mat and the belly button is deeply pulling down towards that spine. Last one here, lower the legs down just about halfway. We go into almost as if we're doing our frog here. The knees are coming into the chest, press the legs out. Knees come into the chest, press the legs out. You have external rotation. The inner thighs and those ankles are squeezing that ball, keeping everything super secure. You're here for 4. We're here for 3. You're here for 2. On this last one, press the legs out. We start to circle. You reach the legs up. You pull the knees into the chest. Press the legs out. You reach up. Pull the knees into the chest. Press the legs out. Last one, reach the legs up. Pull the knees in, and we reverse. Press the legs out. Reach the legs up. Pull the knees in. Reach the legs up. Press the legs down. Pull the knees in. Reach the legs up. Pull the knees down. Press the knees in. We're almost done here. Final stretch. We start that upper core connection, reaching the arms up to the sky, pressing the palms together. Curl up and reach for that ball. Reach for those ankle weights. Reach for those toes. Keep the hips heavy. Peel up through the head, neck, and shoulders. Focus on the upper core. Here's 2, and for 1. Bring everything down. Lower through the hips. Start to bring the ball now to the lower back. You can come into a glute bridge position to really help lift the hips. The ball comes right to the tailbone and we slowly pull the knees into the chest. We'll start to take a stretch. We'll start to cool down. Reach the legs up tall to the sky, keeping the ball under the tailbone. If this feels too difficult, take off the ankle weights. And if this feels too challenging with the ball either way, you can always lower the ball and not use the ball at all. Starting to find slow scissor kicks here. You're connected to the core, but also feeling that stretch slightly. We're here for 5, really feeling the control, feeling the weight into the ball of the hips, feeling the connection of the core, and feeling the heaviness in the legs as we switch. And switch. You're here for 4. We're here for 3, starting to slow down, feeling that control. For 2. Last one, we bring the legs together. Slowly the legs start to peel down. We circle the legs around, connect the ankles. For 5. For 4, these circles are small. We're really opening up through the hip flexors as the legs start to come down. Not feeling this in the back, and if you do, maybe taking that ball away or keeping the circles small. Reverse the direction for 4. For 3. Here's 2. And last one. Beautiful. Start to pull the knees into the chest. Continue to feel that stretch and that length through the lower back. Grab the ball and we'll slowly start to curl up. Can you bring the ball into the calves? Grab onto the ball, make that ball shape, start to roll up and down. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. Rolling out through the spine, feeling that massage. Last one, come all the way up. Bring the ball down, really hug the chest. Beautiful. Let's try and find one teaser position here. We tap the feet down or we pull the knees into the chest. Reach the legs out long, reach the arms out long, palms are facing each other. Beautiful, beautiful, and slowly come down. Good, you guys. All right, we come all the way down, lying onto your back. Pull your right knee into your chest. Feel the stretch. Take some deep breaths here. Enjoy the stretch here. Beautiful. Reach the leg up really tall to the sky, flex the foot, continue to feel the stretch on the back of the leg. We'll start to take a rotation. So you're reaching that right ankle up and over to the left, twisting the spine, reaching the arms out long, ride to a T. If you can turn your head to that opposite direction and you feel comfortable, go ahead and really enhance that twist. Pull the right knee back into the chest. We switch the legs, reaching the left leg up tall to the sky, feeling the stretch on the backs of the legs. Hamstring and calves are connected and stretching, lengthening. Twist and reach that ankle up and over to the right side. Beautiful. Open up through the spine, rotate through the spine. Feel that stretch. Bring that knee back into the chest. Pull both knees into your chest. Come on up. We're taking some last few rotations here. Really reaching the arms out wide, reaching the arms up tall, taking that last forward fold. Beautiful. Reach forward. Thank yourself for being here today. Enjoy the stretch. Truly just sit and be grateful for the moment that you moved. Reach the arms up really tall. Take a last rotation, enjoying that rotation of the spine, feeling that final stretch. One just to each side. Beautiful. And then bringing the arms together, bringing the hands into a prayer position, just honestly to say thank you to yourself and to be there for you and your self-care routine. So I'm appreciative of you guys being here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.